There's no need to apologize, man. Being yourself can be a very sticky situation, especially your full self. And for me in particular, say all cards on the table over there, at least metaphorically, all of my full self. A lot of it gets hidden behind a pair of Superman shades, and can't listen to too much all the time. But at least with Speak No Evil, Ikai Sunotoso is fine. So this one's going to be a little bit longer. I'm going to post it on YouTube as well at my company's channel called Chucks. Because I really want the world to know who I am. And who knows? Maybe with a little bit of luck. So if you don't mind the international sizes of pauses, and if I could get maybe enough money to buy a side of fries, then I think that we may have something here, folks. Something before our very eyes. There's no real easy way to say this. And even myself kind of draws in to my shell, in fact. Imagine being possessed by a spirit, but back when demons had a better name, kind of like Aku and Samurai Jack. Always waking up from a nightmare, and I should say more waking into one every day, and realizing that all that pain that you caused can never really get washed away. But the beautiful thing is that it can. That last statement happened to be false. It's about rehabilitating your dirty dragon, and not necessarily telling him to just get lost. Exercise would probably be a better word, rather than entertain. And the cool thing is, it never is just one thing. That's going to be the start of the circle. It never is just one thing. A lot of the times it can be many, just as we are. Emotions typically never come from just one place. They come from a rainbow of places. You're never really just mad. Sometimes you're mad and sad. Sometimes you're mad, sad, and wish you were glad. Just longing. So why wouldn't we'll call them mental illnesses be any different? And if I could add something before I awaken my beckon demon, or my dragon, or my dog, my guy. Just want to tell him it's been a long journey over the course of these 7 years. And there is no one else who I'd rather do it beside. To give context, I awoke from a dream where the representation of the dream was to give me a message to do this. And less of that. Just to kind of experience, not necessarily try to understand. And even though it's not pertinent to this particular story, as I awoke, I saw my dragon's eye, and he said that's kind of what it was like growing up. And I understood. I made it into other things that I'm personally dealing with, but I'm glad he awakened me out of a very rough space. Now, I don't need to do this, but for whatever reason, at this point in time, I feel the need to do it. Disclaimer of believe what you want. There are some people believe that an old white man lives in the sky with a big beard and all that kind of shit. This is my these are my believies. These are my beliefs that I wish to share. No one else needs to believe them, but it helps me sleep at night and then wake up to some pretty rough stuff. Some would say. But I get to wake up into some pretty nice stuff too. So, without further ado, the dragon that rests within my stomach, my heart and my soul, Kurama. You're funny. He said, where to begin? And then he said, for once I am honestly speechless. But honestly, I don't know where to begin. I kind of want to make a full circle. But I don't really know exactly how best to talk, if I could. Usually I rely on the translation and the poetic nature of the full circle to be relying on Jordan, not necessarily his other side. And at this point in time, I do find him to be like my brother. The brother of Kurama, or this guy. Kuro, K-U-Oro, which is black, ma, which means something I could look up. But Kuro is black, and then ma also means something which you should look up. A quick note before you make dinner. Kuro ma. Sibikio to shinikia. To be one with spirit may in fact mean to have spirit within your one. Simikia opaikia. And Jordan lets me hang out inside his residence for a little bit. Tipikis, the thing is, tapa like kipaika. What? He kind of did it to himself. And maybe that's the story I want to share. If you could excuse the interruption. I'm just going to make sure it's still recording because it's a good one. You ready to tell the story of our origin? Venom? Fuck you, guy. I said, fuck you, guy. At least with love. And then Kiki outside said, boys. And I'm like, okay. And then Kyoko. Of course. Thank you. Baikia notos. I'm going to let you take lead. The world is more magical than my world. I like saying that. I'm going to start saying that. My world is more magical than most that I've seen or have experienced, but I've only really seen one. Kiki notos. All of this for a princess, eh, dragon? Dapaikina. You think yourself a knight? Simikia o sunoto ikina. It's kind of funny you want to say the poetic nature of your life, our life. Kikai also, yeah, with Kiki also in there, but more out than in. You're more in. Kurama's more in than out. Kiki's more out than in, and then Jordan is somewhere in the middle. Gakoi ni tisiei. Said, one hell of a devil's threesome, but he wouldn't have it any other way, as in Jordan wouldn't have it any other way. The baikiso no tose ni. How about you keep going a little bit? It took me a second to translate that one. Kikeiso no tose ni. At what point did I confuse you? Keep going. Topoko ai ni sis. He said, I don't know exactly when I want this book, this joke, to start. Ai. Misei Kyoto Nise. And I don't know where I want it to end, I'll say. Chaka. I see. How about one for your daughter, if she ever happens to come into existence, as we like to say? A story? Yeah. I thought we were doing the story of us, bro. Okay, let's see if you can make it a little bit more magical, eh, dragon? Ah, baka. Oh, you're an idiot. Or it's like baka is like, baka in Japanese means idiot, but it's like, baka. Like, I'm sure you guys can pick up that one. Bibiki Senai, the origin of the knight and the dragon. Sibikoi senatais, be careful what you wish for, you may get it. Takisise. Long time ago, the kid says. Kipaiko to nisaya. And to preface, he said he wouldn't have it any other way. Kimikyotos. I had many women. I had many things. I had everything I ever wanted and needed. The devil provided everything for me. Everything and more. That guy. He's like, oh, we're doing the real one. It's like, it's about time. Kaiki notos. Can I add an editor's note? Kuruma said. Kiakia sonoto isinisha. The devil that you're thinking of is not the devil that we think of. Kikai no sonoto. He's actually a pretty decent guy. Kaika keeps his word. Kaikanatos, a lot more than you could say than most. Or I hope you know what I mean by that. Not a lot of people keep the word. He at least does. So it's a start. Kieto no ikie. And maybe Jordan himself made a bet with the same man, or a wager, or a deal with that same spirit. How about that? Yeah. Mekyo sinisa. But don't let it. Kikai no. Ayo. Keep going. Dikaisa? Sure. So then round it. Kaika. Ayo. Excuse the international thoughts. Keep going. Ipaka. Yes, no. No one does it intentionally. You have to understand that there are other lives outside of your own floating around, man. Tapikiasu no shopo. Please, little sir, or please, you can just call me Knight. Please, Knight, remind me. In the story, I'm the Knight. Kuruma's the dragon. Kiki's the princess. Remind me where we were. I don't know, we were off track. Kapika. Yeah, go for it. Kaika. She wants us to tell, the camera about the woods. The knight ventures into the woods. How about I start you there? Akia. Heck yeah. Or hell yeah. I remember where we were given too much exposition. Happy guys. How about this? Happy guys. Atenisika. You can see a lot, but let's focus on the story. Kaya. Okay. A story for you then. Yos. Ypros. Kyos. Okay. Aiki Natosika. Long time ago, in a distant land that wasn't too far away. Sibiki Natosunekia. And the distant land I'm talking about is less merry than where my mind now stays. You gotta really be careful what you wish for, kids. Because honestly, you may get it, in fact. Good, bad, gia, gia. Happy, elated, ikyoto nisisha. And unfortunately very sad. Simikia oko no toisene. At the end of the day, you have to deal with your fears. Tipikai no tos, your anger, your rage, and your curses too. And sibaiki na tos, and at least the God that I believe in, tikani yokoi senata, has a devil, but and a wife to boot. The God that I believe in, no, that's not it. Because in my, to take a step back from the poem, the God that I believe in is a woman, and the opposite would be the eviler, which is not force, masculine, feminine. It's a divide, but that's what I believe. Kimoki seneta. So we went to see our father. Baiki no toso, but remember which one I talk about. Simikia no tosinekia. I say, hey, Dad, I want to be more powerful. I want to be stronger. He said, Aki paika. I warned you shouldn't open your mouth. And taniya sunopo kiasa. Then slowly he lifted up his hand. Apakia. And in there he saw a snake. Sabaikauto no sinisha. He said, be careful what you wish for, kid. And he said, Aikia nato. Ah, I can take it. I can't wait. At the end of the day, you're going to regret this. Many kids before have come and failed. But listen here. If you do, start like a snail. Said, don't go outside if you can help it. Because you're not going to want to anyway. And that dumbass knight, with all his might, said, I can fight for my Lady Day. He said, I need to fight for my Lady Day. Ipaiki, did it for you, babe. Kaikyoto, you're my love. You're my island in the sky. Isimaiki sanitisia. You're the apple of my evening eye. Sibaiki osanotishinikia. The end of the day, you're all I want to see. Opoka. So for love, kiaka. For myself, hapa. Down the hatch, the snail did be. Tibiki kanoto sinisha. It didn't take long for the alien to take root. The bakya and packed the punch when it punched through my chest. Siakio tunisha. Happened in a theater of movies, a playhouse. Sabikayoso. And goddamn, there was nothing left. Sibikina tosinikia. You wanted to wake up to the reality. Sabakia. Then pack your bags, it's a long ass walk. Sibikini sonotosinikia. You say you want power. You say you want respect. Kikiana. Be careful, because that's what you bought. Story of Kuruma. In more words than one. Kike, I know. Fuck it, I know. Luckily, my heart is stronger than his hate. You want to end it there? Go by. That would be really nice. Yeah, we owe our princess in another castle, Gyudan, for dinner. So let's go make it for Gapaika. Dokis.